Hello, welcome to today's Music Monday. We're going to have a look at pentatonic scales. If you saw the thumbnail and saw those pictures, and you're probably thinking, what have they got to do with anything? I'll come to them all shortly. Don't forget, like and subscribe is always appreciated if you find this stuff fun and interesting. So we're going to look at pentatonic scales, but we're looking at the major and minor pentatonic scales that are typically used. Because penta literally means 5, so could we not just pick any 5 notes between C and C, for example, to get a C pentatonic scale? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, technically you could, it just sounds a little bit horrible. The idea is you are trying to create a scale that limits the dissonance in it. So let's take C major pentatonic to start with. So we take the C scale. So we've got 7 notes, so we need to get rid of 2. So which 2 do we get rid of? Well, look for the places where there is the most dissonance. So that is between E and F and B and C, because they are a semitone apart. So what we do is we go, which one are we going to get rid of? The E or the F? One of them's got to go. Well, the E is the third, so that's going to make it major, so we better get rid of the F instead. So now we've got, and even though we've already got 5 notes, so we know we're not going to use that, between B and C, it's better to get rid of the B, because the C would be the actual octave. So there's your major pentatonic scale. Now, to work out the minor pentatonic, you could just say, well, I know the relative minor of C is A minor, so C major, A minor, same notes. You've got the same issue of intervals, but as we go up here, this time they are between B and C to start with, and then E and F. So you look at it and you go, well, do I get rid of the B or the C? Well, the C is the third, it's the minor third, so we better keep that in so it still sounds minor. And do we get rid of the E or the F? Well, the E is the 5th, so that's another dominant note in the scale, so we better get rid of the F. And you notice you've got exactly the same notes as you had in the major pentatonic for C. Okay, so that's major and minor pentatonic scales and how to work them out. Now, on to the picture round. On the left, we've got South America. A lot of South American folk music was originally composed using a 5-note scale, but what they did is they took the octave and they split it into 5 distinct notes. Now, that doesn't therefore fit with our standard temperament or tuning. More recently, they have actually changed some of their tuning, so they still use 5 notes, but they choose from either the minor or major pentatonic scales. In India, a lot of the rags or ragas are based on 5-note intervals, and similarly in Chinese music. So if you're playing, for example, Peruvian flute, then maybe a pentatonic scale is going to give you a more realistic composition, and the same with Indian and Chinese music. So there's reasons to bear these things in mind. The other thing is things like Stevie Wonder. That's terrible, but that is based on all black notes. That is a pentatonic scale. It is an F sharp major pentatonic. Pentatonic minors really common in guitar music. And actually, while we're thinking of guitar music, if you tune a guitar, you would go E, A, D, G, B, and then E. We put those closer together, E, A, D, G, B, and play them all, we actually have an E minor pentatonic. So your open strings on a guitar actually form a minor pentatonic. So learning your major and minor pentatonics is great for soloing because it will go over multiple chords. And finally, modular synths, if they are creating random notes, it is often a good idea to program pentatonic scales into them because the dissonance is not there. So if random notes are coming out, you are less likely to have dissonant structures rubbing against each other. That's all I've got for pentatonic scales. Have a play around with them, work some out, try some soloing. Always good fun. And thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, always appreciated. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.